Show you how to do the image transfer. This one has to be done on a Xerox or laser printed paper. Okay, you can't use magazines pictures for this because the ink is the ink in the paper is absorbed into the paper. You have to use an image that was created with a toner. Okay, because the toner doesn't go into the paper; it sits on top of the paper. So what you're going to do is, this is a great way if you want to stick like some writing or a picture onto your work, but you want it to be really subtle so that you can just barely see it. It's maybe like a ghost image. Can't see it very well here, but you can see on the camera there, I've got some words, a little bit of drawings on here. There's a picture over here, okay? But this is how you do that. Let's see, let me grab a new board. Let's do a brand new board right here, okay? So to do that, you're going to need to grab this stuff right here, okay? It comes in these tubes. It's a clear caulking, clear transparent caulking that you use to seal windows, bathtubs, okay? So you're going to spread a little bit of this caulking down. Let's say you want to stick it right here. Let me zoom this back here. So I'm going to spread some of this out. And again, you want to make sure that you have a fairly thick layer of it. Okay? It's better to have a little bit too much than not enough, and you miss a spot. Okay? You don't want gobs of it. I think you've got a little too much right there. But just enough that it covers it, but covers it really, really well. Okay, so I'm going to spread this all the way out. I like to work back and forth to make sure I get a really good coverage so that it's even, because once again, you want to make sure that you don't have some areas that has too much glue, some areas not enough, and so your paper doesn't stretch evenly. Okay? Again, make sure if you're going to use the brushes, you got to make sure they're clean, because this is a glue, and if you leave it in there, it'll destroy the brush, and you just have to get rid of it. Okay? So this one over here, I picked a piece of paper that has a little bit of writing and part of an image here, so you can kind of see what happens when you with the text and with a picture like this. Okay? So the thing you have to remember, though, is when you're doing this, it creates a reverse image. So if you want to be able to read the words, you have to print it off so the words are backwards. Okay? If you don't care if you want to use, I like using the words just as almost a pattern in the background. So if you print it off normally, you can't really read the words, and it just reads as a background. So then you're going to take, if I want this side to show up, I'm going to place it right into this caulking glue. Okay? I'm going to rub it in there, make sure it sticks. Start in the middle and kind of push outward so that it get all those bubbles out. Okay? And on this one, you're going to let it dry. It has to dry completely. Okay? It will take at least a half an hour for this to dry, best overnight. Okay? And this is something you're going to want to do last. Okay? You're going to want to do the image transfer, or if you do gold leafing, you want to do that last because it is kind of sensitive, and you do have to kind of beat up the work a little bit. You're going to apply some water onto it in a minute. And so you want to make sure you have everything on there first before you do this. Okay? Because the idea is that it sits on top of everything else. So once this is dry, then you can remove it.